Have you ever wanted to improve your backyard or campsite with an inexpensive smokeless fire pit? And this is the video for you. This is the second evolution of the smokeless fire pit.
In this video, we're gonna redo the smokeless fire pit. It hasn't been the most smoke-free, and that's what we're trying to accomplish. You know, Steve, this fire pit's been great. I like the design of it and everything.
I like it being round. That's cool.
We've got some surface space to put our pots and pans and
yeah,
stuff.
it's like a kitchen.
Kick your feet up.
Sure.
What do you think about the smokelessness of it?
Hadn't been feeling it.
We've got multiple videos out there where you can just see billows of smoke coming out.
Remember that live we did when we had the canopy over it?
Oh,
We
and it was
almost died
literally
of
just
smoking
coming
like
down.
it?
Yeah. I will say, with all of these, it's a test, right? So this one, if you do want to see the video on this one, click right here. We'll put a link in the description below for this one.
Don't get me wrong, it did work. However, I think it would have done better with wood that's not as hard and wet as what we have in the area.
This one has a lot of holes in it.
A lot of air gaps. Right?
The other thing, and this could have been a flaw on my part, we should have pulled these out probably another 2 to 3 inches.
Yeah.
This new design, it's got, instead of buying a big thing like this, it's got copper tubing. It's got heat channels that should be extremely
Oh my gosh.
efficient, and we're gonna give that one a go.
So we're
Stick
going
around.
high tech with this one.
It's far more inexpensive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I think all the supplies for that one was less than $100. It might have been less than $80, but it will be tighter, less air gaps, hopefully more efficient.
Cool.
Let's get
Give
started.
her a go, man.
We're gonna be here a while, so first thing is, get you a cup of coffee.
That's right.
All right, let's go through the list of supplies we're gonna need.
Simple stuff. Like I said, I think this was less than $80 for the build. It's 10 for the bottom, 10 for the middle, and then 10 caps that we've got right over here. All relatively cheap. I think they're a couple bucks a brick. We've got some copper coil. I went with the 3/8 inch. So while I'm drilling holes, you're gonna be cutting tube.
Nice.
I wanted to get a nicer carbide.
Big masonry bit.
I've just heard drilling through these with the garbage ones take all day. So
You're probably right.
get that.
You get what you pay for.
Stove and gasket cement. I'm not aiming to lock these in place. I'm aiming to seal up some
To
of the gaps.
seal up the air gaps. Yeah.
Yep. Try to get them as sealed as possible, you know.
Right.
And then a level and a drill.
All right, you ready to get to it?
Let's get to it.
Let's get to work. X marks the spot. Oh, look at that, like butter.
Like butter.
Like
I thought
butter.
this was gonna take all day.
See, that's why you paid a little extra for that nice bit.
I think I got way too much of this. I got 10 feet. We're gonna need
Yeah, a few inches, huh? Okay, what, 2 or 3 inches on each one?
probably, and we only need it on the top.
Since copper is an excellent heat conductor, we're using these to pull in the cooler outside air. Once these tubes are heated, it should instantly heat up the air inside them, superheating the fire and causing the secondary burn. But first, we've got to get all the holes drilled. Working with a buddy's always easier. While I was drilling the holes, Steve was busy cutting the copper tubing. With 2 people on it, this is probably going to take us less than an hour.
All right, everybody. So what I've done is pre-drilled some holes. What's up, Steve? What'd you do?
I cut a bunch of these little copper tubes that are just the right size to go through those holes, man.
Awesome. So, hey, teamwork, brainstorm. This is the bottom, right here. That's gonna be the top. And the reason I say that specifically is these holes are gonna be closer to the bottom.
Right.
So the cool air has to travel up further to the holes that will be on the top. Ready to get started, Steve?
Let's do it.
Now, normally for something like this, I'd like to dig a channel or a path first. However, our campgrounds are basically sitting on top of a giant boulder, which means we're not digging too far. At least definitely not with the hoe or anything light of a jackhammer.
Dear, this is not a jackhammer, it is a jackhammer.
That's where the pea gravel comes in. Instead of digging, we're gonna build up the surface.
Good, good, good.
Great. Now that we've got the base down, all we have to do is line up these channels. The channels are there to pull the air in from the cool air on the bottom outside, up through the channels, and out through the hot copper.
Oh, look at that.
Might need a little tappy tap.
We've only been going about 45 minutes and we're already putting in the copper tubing. You may have to fight with these a little bit, that's why we brought the mallet.
Well, we need to put the top things on and then put some sealers through here.
Right there, and then right there, and that adding up, making it just a little bit wider, you know what I mean?
This last step is really just seal up any large holes. I want most of the air to come in through the hot copper tubing that we put in place. All in all, this takes about less than an hour, less than $100. Wait till you see what this fire looks like.
All right. But I will say, it did take quite a while to heat up.
Yeah, it took a little while. But it's
it's-
doing
it's-
really good right now.
It's got to get hot enough to make this copper heat up to the point to where it's actually pulling the air out.
Yeah.
And so I think, at least for now, Steve, that's a pretty big success.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you gonna jam your stick in the ground for that one?
Heck yes, it's a good stick.
But look at that. That's a pretty good amount of wood in there.
I'm gonna put more wood in there.
You won't do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like and subscribe and ring that bell while you're at it so you'll never miss another video. We'll see you next week, gang.